All right, so I almost didn't record this video, but I needed to get this out there because, well, there's a lot of YouTube gurus out there that are still giving the advice to post more videos. And I really feel like that is bad advice unless you are doing it strategically. If I just told you, post more videos and you're going to increase your chances of YouTube finding you and getting a video to blow up, yes, but that's kind of like playing the lottery. So the way that I'm looking at this, and especially moving into 2026, is that what YouTube is doing is they are really looking at your channel, but they're also looking at your viewership. And they're looking at, okay, is someone finding your video and then are they able to suggest another video? And are they able to suggest another video? Now, I'm not talking about the end screen. That's a given, right? Yeah, we want to have something that leads to something that will lead to another one of your videos that makes sense. But what we're talking about is doing it strategically. But here's the big mistake or the missing piece that is not being taught. What they're not teaching you is that you want to follow the data. So after every single upload, you want to be looking at your analytics, because if you look at your analytics, YouTube itself will tell you if it's working or not and what to post next, because it's going to give you the data. And if it's working, then you're going to want to post something that is related to that topic. And so what we're looking at, the very first thing that we look at is the impressions. If we're getting impressions, then we know that YouTube is pushing it out to audiences. Then we look at the click-through rate. But we don't look at the click-through rate unless we have a certain number of impressions. Again, this is not being taught. This is just, people saying post, 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 and they're not telling you what to do while you're posting. And I'll actually break down exactly what we're doing, the flow that we're doing. That seems to be really, really working. Now, I'm not going to say I'm a guru, because I'm not. I'm still figuring it out just like you are. But I did want to share what we're doing, and hopefully it'll be helpful for you and kind of like what we look at. Because here's the thing. If you don't know what to look at, you don't know how to analyze, and you don't know what is working and what is not. So here's what we look at. Number one, we're looking at the impressions, and the impressions are what's going to let us know, is YouTube even showing our stuff? Now, the big question is like, well, how many impressions is good? And that's a great question. And what we do is we let it ride for 24 hours. And in 24 hours, if we've gotten 2,000 impressions, then we feel like that's enough of reach that our videos have been shown to, or our video has been shown to. And then we're looking at the click-through rate. See, the mistake, and this is what a lot of gurus don't tell you, is you can keep posting, but if we're not looking at that, you might just be posting and not getting any results at all. So you're just posting and posting and posting. And then the negative effect of that is that now you're training YouTube that your content is kind of like all over the place. And so once we get something that starts to work, we want to build off of that. So the impressions tell us if YouTube is pushing our stuff out there, and that comes from the title. And we're still very, very obsessed about titles, because titles drives the impressions. And if we get impressions, then we can look at the click-through rate. And if we look at the click-through rate, then we can get a view, and then we can see how long do people stay around and all of that stuff. So the titles are super important still. We're still using our outlier titles. We've talked about these in the past on this channel. If you have not yet grabbed a copy of our top 10 outlier titles, we are still offering that for free. If you'd like to get a copy of that, just comment hooks down below and I'll send you a copy. It's 10 of our top outlier titles, and it's basically templates where you can plug in your niche and you can give them a try. So go ahead and just put hooks in the comments if you want a copy of that. So impressions are from the title. That's a given. But now what we want to do is we want to look at the click-through rate. So if we've gotten 2,000 impressions through a 24-hour period, now we want to look at the click-through rate. And the other thing that we do, and a lot of people don't tell you to do this, but this is what we do, and it's really, really important, is we want to look at the click-through rate for the entire 24-hour window. Now, one little thing that we do So this way here we can see the entire 24 hours and that click-through rate, because that click-through rate is going to go up and down, is we select first 24 hours. That's really, really important. Then what we do is you kind of just hover over that little bar and you'll see your click-through rate going up and down, up and down. And what that's telling us is that YouTube is showing our video to more audiences. And you can see a warmer audience might get a really high click-through rate. Like we had one just the other day. It came out of the gate at like maybe a 7.9 and it went as low as like a 1.5 because it was showing it to a cold audience. But then it bounced back to like a 10.2 and then it went down to like a 4.3. And so what that's telling you is that YouTube is actively showing it to different audiences. And that's really important. So again, if we can see that, then we can go, okay, it's pushing our video on this topic that we chose. And then we can say, okay, let's do another video on this topic because it's getting impressions and it's getting clicks. So now if we look at that data, we're also going to be looking at one more piece. Now that we've gotten enough impressions, we've gotten enough clicks, now we want to look at the average view duration. And that's typically where we're going to say, okay, are people sticking around? And I know the question is going to be like, well, what's good retention? Like, what's the good average view duration? We like to shoot for 45 to 50%. And that means that for the first, whatever, half of the video, people are watching. And that's really, really strong. Now, a lot of people look at the first 30 seconds, which is also important. And that we usually look at maybe around 65 to 68%. If we're getting above that, we're doing really good. But coming back full circle to the most important thing is your impressions, because that shows that YouTube is pushing the video out to other audiences. Without impressions, we can't get the click. So we might look at the impressions, even though maybe our click-through rate wasn't that great, and we might go, oh my gosh, it got 5,000 impressions in the first, 12 hours. Okay, what about the next video you upload? And it only gets 1,000. That means that your title is probably not doing its job. And it could be because you're picking a different topic, a random topic. So then what we want to do is we want to look at the impressions a lot and say, okay, let's post more on that topic. So am I saying here, don't post more videos? No, I'm saying post more videos, but post the right videos after you've seen inside of your analytics what YouTube is liking from your channel. And then from there, you can just build on that. So like right now, our current cadence is like 3 videos a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But if I want to post another one, I can. But what I'm doing then is I'm going to be looking at the data from past videos and saying, okay, what's going to be my next upload? And for the most part, it's going to be something that is related to another video that we've already published. And the thing is we want to pay close attention to that, because that's something that we're calling content clusters. And if you have a content cluster, you're able to now continue to get people to watch more of your videos. And in 2026, that is going to be extremely, extremely important, because YouTube wants to know what is the path for this viewer. And then once they know the path, they're going to recommend your videos, as long as you have videos that you've actually created that are related. And that's why I recorded a video right there, I'm gonna put it right there, where I talk about what to upload next once a video starts working. So watch that video next, and I'll see you there.